Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox. That's Erik Johansson. I'm one of the co-founders of LSATdemon.com. Erik is a fine LSAT teacher with us at LSAT Demon. He also manages the email queues for both of our podcasts, which I greatly appreciate. Erik, we got an email here from Gavin.
Gavin writes, "Howdy. I just purchased the LSAT Demon Live subscription after about 2 weeks playing with the free version, 15 minutes per day. After joining a live class, I figured I'd better take my first practice test before doing anything else. I was rather disappointed after getting a 155.
Whoa.
That's not something to be disappointed about.
155 is an excellent first practice test scores. Practice test score. Every once in a while, we hear about people starting in the 160s, but that's like an elite starting score. 155 is I would say that's above the 75th percentile starting score. I mean, the average official score is like 150.
Yeah, I think it's between like 150, 153. So you're already above the average final testing score.
This is born on second base and, disappointed that he was not born on third base. But
yeah, good problem to have, Gavin.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Starting from 155. The two things that really hurt me was on RC, I got 50% on the third passage and didn't have any time for the last passage. I was 12 out of 13 on the first two passages. And for LR, I just absolutely bombed must be true and parallel questions. I had a total of 9 must be true and got 3 correct for 33% accuracy and 5 parallel questions where I got 2 right for 40% accuracy. Everything else I was only missing 1 or was perfect. Nathan, a while back you invented a word, statster-baiting. You think Gavin's statster-baiting a little bit here?
Yeah, I mean, students get so caught up in diagnostics, which I guess diagnostics are really useful in a lot of contexts. I'm not sure that diagnostics are that useful in this context because, and by diagnostics, I mean statistics. The fact that you got only 3 out of 9 must be trues. I don't really know what that means. It probably means that you don't understand how high the standard is for what must be true. I think it really just indicates that you're not being careful enough because the answer that you picked is not something that had to be true based on the record. And the answer that was correct that you didn't pick is something that is 100% proven by the record. So you're just not reading carefully enough. You misread the record and or the question and or the correct answer you didn't pick and or the wrong answer that you did pick. Mm-hmm. You misread something because one of them must strictly be true. And the other ones, there's ways that they don't have to be true. So rather though than maybe we could read the next paragraph, but
sure.
Yeah, let's hear the next paragraph and then I'll give my advice.
Sure. Gavin continues, "What should I do from here? Should I focus exclusively on honing my abilities on must be true and parallel questions? What's the best approach for improving in those two areas? I feel like on RC, I just need to be faster by reading the passage more carefully. I found myself rereading the passage, which ate into a lot of my time. Thanks for everything y'all do, Gavin."
Yeah, good self-awareness there on reading comprehension. If you find that you have to reread the entire passage or reread significant chunks of the passage frequently, then that means that you just didn't read it well enough in the first place. I'd rather that you read it really well the first time and then refer back to it as necessary, but you don't really, if you find that you have to go back to the passage to answer the main point question, then I don't think you read it well enough in the first place. That's a kind of a bellwether. As far as, but you absolutely can reread the first sentence and the first couple sentences. You can reread any sentence at any time if you need to in order to stay on top of it. It's like you take a particularly gristly bite of your steak. You got to chew that bite more than you chewed the typical bite of,
before you shove another mouthful of steak into your mouth.
Right. Choke to death on, because that's what students do, right?
Yeah.
They think, I've got to hurry. I've got to get through this thing. So they get through it where your eyes are going over the words, but now the meaning isn't going in anymore because you got stuck. And that's like you're choking, and you really should have like stopped and just spent some more time in the moment and make sure that you're accumulating understanding as you go. You'll then find that the second half of the passage goes down a lot smoother because you actually processed the stuff that's up top. You'll also find that when you get into the questions, you have to refer back far less frequently, and the wrong answers will look way, way worse to you. And that will help you go faster without even trying to go faster.
Yeah.
As far as the specific complaints about must be true questions or parallel questions, no, I do not think that you should exclusively hone those question types. I think that you should instead review the individual questions that you missed and try to reach an understanding, a clear understanding of exactly why the right answer is right and exactly why the wrong answer is wrong. If you can understand exactly why the right answer is right and the wrong answer is wrong on those questions that you have missed, then you're learning whatever must be true lesson or parallel lesson you need to learn.
Yeah.
The demon drilling tool, if you turn off demon's choice and you go into the advanced settings, you can make the demon just drill you on any question type or types that you want to drill on. But we don't really recommend it because you can learn the lesson that needs to be learned from any one of these questions. So go look at the tree, not the forest, I guess is what I'm saying on LR, that you really can learn all of the important lessons one question at a time instead of constantly grasping at like these are my problem areas, which I understand the human nature to do that. But I think the demon, if you just leave it on demon's choice and drill, and then if you critically, which, the thing that Gavin has to do before doing anything else is to review every single one of the mistakes on this practice test and any other work that you've been doing, Gavin. You need to don't leave the question until you thoroughly understand why is the right answer right? Why didn't I pick it? Why is the wrong answer wrong? Why did I pick it? Contemplate that for a minute. And sure, at that point, think about the nature of the type of question that they're asking you. They will ask you similar types of questions in the future, but you've got to really investigate the individual mistakes. And that's then the fastest and most efficient way to learn the global, theory-based lessons.
Yeah.
I guess for people who want to approach it a different way, the demon lets you do that. We have lessons on all of these topics. So people sometimes say, I did all the lessons and I found them super helpful. Maybe different people learn best in different ways. And if after 2 months, if you realize, oh my God, I'm always missing necessary assumption questions, then I could see, oh, well, maybe you need to review that lesson on necessary assumptions. But after one diagnostic,
no, you're not there yet. I think so. One thing that you said, Nathan, which I really liked, was you talked about how Gavin just had not yet learned kind of the exacting nature of this question, or just how exact the answer choice to a must be true must be. And I had this experience when I started. I, like Gavin, had a pretty high diagnostic when I started, and I think had a generally high level of reading comprehension, but sitting down to take this test for the first time was reading and approaching the questions somewhat casually. It's like, imagine a rookie coming into the NBA for the first time, who they were the shit in college, they were the shit in high school, they're already really, really good at basketball, but they show up and they're thrust into this level of competition that they've never seen before. So they get punched in the mouth and they just get run out at the gym a little bit their first couple games or their first season in the league. But at a certain point, it clicks in. They're like, oh, okay, I get it now. This is the level of competition, and I'm ready to do it, but I was never called on to go to that place before. So I think that's where you're at, Gavin, is now you've seen it. Now you know, oh, okay, this is how I have to approach this test. You already have a lot of the ability to get there. You just have to make the decision to lock in and do it and read carefully and think critically. I expect, Gavin, that you're probably going to start seeing those gains pretty quickly.
Agreed. And it is an intense test of your English language ability and your detail orientation. Must be trues are an excellent example of that because, they're giving you some facts. They say which one of these is also a fact based on those facts. And there's no wiggle room in the correct answer. It is a fact. If those facts are true, then this has to be true. There's no way around it. The 4 wrong answers, there's a way around it. They could be false. It's not which one do you think, it seems like that one. No, one of them's right and the other 4 are wrong. And when you understand the higher, threshold there, or when you understand how literal the LSAT actually is, you'll realize that it's a piece of cake. You just got to answer the question that they're asking you.
100%. Thanks, Gavin. Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.